Hello book friends, how are you today? I am super excited to film today's video. This will probably be the last time that you see my setup here in our bedroom. I film in front of a wonderful huge picture window. I do add a little bit lighting, but I've actually reworked another room in our house which has even more natural lighting, and I'm gonna start filming down there from now on, so I'm super excited about that. You'll see this video and then one other video, which is actually I already filmed, and those will be the last two videos in this space. So onwards and upwards, right? I'll be bringing the 12 Days of Christmas event to you from that new space. So that's super exciting. That'll be your first glimpse into the area that I hope to be able to kind of use better lighting and have a little bit more interest going on in the background, stuff like that. So I'm very excited about that. So today's video is something a little bit different. We're going to talk about a book that I read, but I wanted to share with you how I read it because I thought it was really fun. The book is called Changing Spaces by Annie Dyer. This is now the third book I've read from her. You will see that there are mythical creatures and Smoldered by Annie Dyer on my channel. I did videos on those two books. And then to celebrate mythical creatures coming out, she did a read-along in her Facebook group. And I thought, oh, I loved mythical creatures so much that I would love to be able to read Changing Spaces. Changing Spaces is one of, I think it's 6 books in the series now, but I just couldn't fit in another book. I mean, I'm just super busy reading a lot these days. So I just knew I couldn't fit another book in, and I mentioned that to her in the post, and I was like, oh, I'd love to, but I don't think I can squeeze it in. And she assured me that it's 1 chapter a day. And I thought, okay, I can sit down and read 1 chapter a day. And then the next day, and then the next day, and okay, how is this gonna go? So I had never partaken in a read-along before. I've seen them a bunch of different ways in the author groups that I'm part of. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. If I can squeeze out another great book by Annie Dyer in a couple of weeks, and it allows me to also read the other books that I've committed to and want to read, why not, right? The more the merrier. So that's what I did. And as she said, there were some great moderators in her Facebook group that brought us questions, those of us that participated, and brought us questions, 2 or 3 questions each day about each chapter. So you read along. I think there were 14-ish chapters in the book plus an epilogue. So it took about 2 weeks. So doable. I loved doing it. Have you ever done a read-along before? And if you have, which kind did you do? Did you do something like this? Do you like a read-along? Because I know that it's something that booktubers do on their channels. They do. So I'm definitely interested in figuring out more about this and who else, what other authors do read-alongs. The book itself, Changing Spaces, oh my gosh. So I talked in my Mythical Creatures video how much I loved the world that Annie created with the Callaghan Green series that she has. I was late to the game with Mythical Creatures. That's the most recent book. And there's 5 or 6 books. And I didn't feel lost when I read it. I felt like, they can be read as standalones. So much better when you have a little background and you have the other books, but you can read them as standalones. So I loved it so much, but then I thought, and I wanted to read the other books, but I didn't know, did I start at the beginning? What do I do? So when this opportunity came up for Changing Spaces, I thought, okay, well, why not? I could get into Mythical Creatures. I knew so many of the characters because of that book, and I knew this book was about another one of the siblings, so I thought, okay, I'll try it. And it was awesome. So this book is about, Changing Spaces is about Ava Callaghan and Elijah, don't remember Elijah's last name. Ava Callaghan is obviously one of the Callaghan Green siblings, and she's the youngest. Ava's the baby. So she is one of the, it's Ava and Callum that don't work for the family law firm. So, but Elijah works for the family law firm. So that's how Ava knows Elijah. Elijah is a friend of the family, works at the law firm, and they know each other socially and then through that. And oh my gosh. So the book starts out with they're at a wedding and there's a guy hitting on Ava and she's not interested. And Elijah kind of, locks eyes with her across the room and comes over and kind of saves her. And she looks at him, and Elijah, which she talks about, and she calls him Eli. He's super attractive. He's a bit older than she is. She always really liked him. She knew he was a good guy. She knows he's well liked and respected amongst her brothers and sisters and also within the firm. And so she, always thought he was really cute and well respected, but a little bit older than her. And also that he had a long-term girlfriend. And so that was kind of off the table, anything with them. Well, lo and behold, he's no longer in the relationship, and she knows this, and he comes over to save her, and they end up kind of realizing, like, I've always thought you were cute. I've always thought you were cute. Maybe this is something. And they end up basically hooking up for the night. I liked Elijah from the get-go. All the Callaghan brothers are all rugby players. Now, as an American, I know zero about rugby. I know enough that I know what rugby is, and it's played with a ball that looks like a football. I also am aware of the physicality of most rugby players. So you can envision, if you know anything about rugby, that Elijah in his spare time likes to play rugby. So basically Elijah's hot, right? And he's physically fit. Ava is described as having long, very long blonde curly hair. Boy, what color are her eyes? I don't remember that, but something with her hair that stood out to me was how Elijah likes her hair, and that, that's how he finds her in a room, is by her beautiful blonde hair. And it's something that he talks about wanting to wrap it around his hand when they're, So anyway, so there is no shortage of steamy, hot scenes in this book. They have chemistry for days, and they go at it a lot. And I liked how it just kind of flowed with them. And they were like, okay, well, it's just for tonight. Okay, well, that was really good. Let's do it one more time. Oh, well, maybe, they go out and they see each other again. It's like, oh, okay, then we're going to hook up for the night. And pretty quickly, there are times, I should go back and saying, that Ava's like, this is just for fun. Elijah wants something more serious, and I'm not ready for that, nor do I want that. She's in her late 20s. He's in his middle 30s. So I think they say there's an 11-year age gap, but, she thinks he's like this older guy, where he's kind of like, okay, you're not that much younger than me, like, serious. So it seems to be more of a thing for her that he's older than it is for him. And all along the way, Ava had trouble kind of accepting her feelings for him. And in a lot of ways, I got a little frustrated with her. I was like, let's go, honey. Like, he's a great guy. And he realized sooner that he really liked her and he was all in with her. But he also knew he went too quick or got too serious with her, she would run. So he was so patient with her. Oh, Elijah was very yummy. I loved their banter. I loved his smarts. I love how he treated her. I really, really, really enjoyed Elijah. There is enough drama in their book and angst. Well, is there angst? No, maybe not. Maybe that's not the right word. There's enough drama, that it's not perfect. It's not, you know, him trying to woo her the whole time. It was really about them building their friendship and then relationship, and him accepting her for all of her unique qualities, and vice versa. Something that was really cool about Ava, and she, you know, kick-ass female, is that she flips houses and she's in construction for a living, and so she works in a man's world. She has all these older brothers and these older siblings, so Ava can handle herself, and it's something that Elijah really likes about her, but yet it almost, she got in her own way a lot. And as smart and as quick and as capable as Ava was, she also needed to make sure that everyone knew she was that way. And I think that's where Annie kind of played with the whole sibling, her being the youngest thing. To me, as the reader, it didn't seem like it was a big deal that she was the youngest, but for her, the way it was brought out, it was a big deal for her, and she wanted to make sure that everyone knew she was capable and could handle herself. So I did like that part. I really did. I thought, okay, good. But then I got to the point with her where I was like, come on, Ava, like, you are a fool. What are you doing? Because not that she toyed with Elijah, but she didn't allow herself to get there. It was there literally the whole time, in the back of her head, in her own ear, going, okay, he's a really great guy. I really like him. I really like him. And then she would like pull back, not pull back from him, but then she would just keep it close to the vest. And I started to get a little frustrated with her, like I said, but then something kind of major happens and it rocks her world, and it happens to her, and it knocks that vision that she has of herself and how capable she is and that she can take care of herself. It knocks her down like 10 pegs, and I hated that. I understood her so much and where she was coming from after that, and I crossed my fingers that there was going to be a happily ever after at the end of this book, because there were times where I was like, is he gonna wait around for her? Like, what is going on? What is she doing? She needs to get there. She needs to get back in her awesome kick-ass self that she is. Another great thing I really like about this series, now I say that I've read 2 of the books, but obviously I know at this point I have a grasp of the characters, how Annie writes, a little bit about their stories, because I've read the later parts of the series. I can't wait to go back and read the beginning parts. But something that I love about this series is the family dynamic. And I talked about in my Mythical Creatures video, there's text messages because they're all in a group chat together and they spend a lot of time together. And how many are there? I think there's 7 siblings, I think. Again, I got to go back and do a family tree. But they all spend time together, and I love that part. I really do enjoy the whole family part, and it's such a big part of these books that I just eat all that up. I really do love that. Let me know if you have read Changing Spaces in the comments below. If you've read Mythical Creatures or any of Annie Dyer's other books. There's that whole Severton series that she has. Let me know if you've done a readathon and what kind of readathon it was, and did you like it? What didn't you like about it? All that fun stuff. I'm so intrigued by it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you soon in a whole new space. Bye.